There you go.
Yeah.
It's a sign. Just laid out our table sign. Our packet.
Hi, how are you? Good.
Last year.
Right.
So they were real specific. So we took long hikes. You're starting at 10,000 foot elevation.
Right.
And you're hiking up to 11,000. Hey. So you wouldn't want that far. And also we stayed actually for a good.
Oh, yeah. From one commission to another.
Yeah, because he had Alzheimer's, and the only thing he could say there at the end was,
Did you? I didn't do the parade or the.
Testing.
Where we were
¿Qué es uno?
at, to see the Messiah light shows.
No, we didn't do nothing. We got together, my mom for lunch, and that's about it. Went home.
Oh my God, I found out. Christmas.
Yeah.
We ran into Sunday morning at breakfast.
Yeah.
She hasn't told her. And it's gonna happen soon. To the Mayo Clinic.
It's the best place.
Yeah.
Look at Jesus.
She, it's like I told her, maybe it was a blessing because her original doctor kind of went MIA. He left the clinic and they didn't know where he went, nothing. So she ended up going to the Mayo Clinic with another doctor. She seems very happy that she did. She's more comfortable than she was before. So
So does she have that?
she has a bad valve. And they don't know the severity of the damage until they actually get in there. So they're gonna try and repair it, but if not, they're gonna have to open her up and do replacements.
Because they have to do it with my dad.
Yeah.
But I think she.
Yeah, so her valve isn't working, so every time it pumps blood, the whole blood is going back.
Oh, a minute.
So, yeah, she's had a lot of problems. Well, I gotta have surgery on in a week from today. At least. Thank you.
And lighting candles.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Want to talk about it?
You don't get what.
What you get next time for getting in the middle of all these calls? They need a call. It's important, kids.
Going to go ahead and get started here. This is the Planning and Zoning Commission, Appropriateness Commission for the work session. Well, no, it's not the work session. Sorry. Why is that? Anyway, it's not a work session. It's a scheduled meeting.
I just realized that.
Another correction. We're here in the Mesilla Town Hall, and it's the July 6th, 2026 at 6 o'clock. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you could join us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. Next order of the meeting is a roll call and the determination of quorum. Mr. Salazar, if you will.
Mr. Vice Chair Gallegos?
Present.
Commissioner Miller?
Present.
Commissioner Alviar?
Present.
Commissioner Mulvihill?
Present.
Commissioner Paz?
Present.
Commissioner Lucero?
Here.
And Mr. Chair Walkinshaw.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you do have quorum. Full house.
Thank you. Yeah. Next order of business is change or approval of the agenda. I need a proposal or motion, please.
For the consent agenda.
All right, first motion by Commissioner Mulvihill, second motion by Commissioner Miller. No discussion? I'll go ahead and take the vote, Mr. Chair. Vice Chair Gallegos?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Alviar?
Yes.
Commissioner Mulvihill?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you do have, motion does pass 4-0.
Next is if any, it's public comment input on the two proposals action, which is P&Z HAC case 062142 and also case 062147, which are the two projects that we're addressing. So I need, let's go ahead. The next order of business is for public input on those two items. If anyone wants to get up to state their name and any comments on those proposals. So it looks like we're ready to go to the next agenda item, which is the approval of the consent agenda, which is the June 5th, 2026 P&Z work session and minutes. So are there any comments on the
I move to accept the consent agenda as spelled out. Sorry.
All right, first motion by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Mulvihill. Any discussion?
There's just one correction on it. I have it on my, but it's I don't know, it goes to, it says that everybody was here, but the second page there.
I have a page number.
I know, I'm trying to find it.
Is that when Commissioner Paz was absent?
Yeah, just
She wasn't really mentally here, so I had to put her out.
I have a correction too, because on page 12 it said I discussed the roof design and I did not.
Which page?
12.
12?
But like I didn't.
Commissioner discusses, okay. I'll see who was the one that did that. Put a question mark, but I'll fix that. And the absent one as well. Yeah, well, thank you.
yeah, just a smart.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I am starting to use this new software. only so I can give you more information in writing. And it's a training to it. After a while, it gets to know everything, unfortunately. But it is a big time saver, especially not just here. I'm also helping out with the board of trustee meeting, and some of those meetings are like 4 or 5 hours. And to be able to transcribe verbatim, I mean, generally for 1 hour, it takes me almost a day to transcribe. In between my duties, obviously, not just that. But so you figure 4-hour meeting, that's a 4-day event. So we get those good. But anyway, thank you again for that. I'll make that corrections before we have them signed.
All right.
We need to take a vote, Mr. Chair. So if there's anything else, I'll go ahead and take vote. Vice Chair Gallegos? Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Alviar?
Yes.
And Commissioner Mulvihill?
Yes, with corrections.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Chair, motion passes 4-0.
Very good. Thank you. We're down to the action and considerations, and as mentioned before, PZHAC case 062142. Mr. Salazar, if you would.
Yes, sir. This is case number 062142. And it was submitted, location is at 2011 Glass Road. Was submitted by Descalced, Carmelita nuns, requesting approval to re-roof their residence. The zone is rural farm. Carla Judith Magueriki, listed owner of the property, came to an agreement with R Builders, Inc. To re-roof the residence. The structure roof has old clay tiles that are in dire need to be replaced. Many years of the roof have cracked holes due to poor installation a long time ago. R Builders, Inc. will be replacing the clay tiles with Mueller's PBR red metal roofing. I see attached for details on your packet. The property next to them have PBR red roofing, which is on 2013 Glass Road. Mesilla Town, under department comments, Mesilla Town Code 1820, rural farm does not limit the type of roofing that is allowed. PBR metal roofing is consistent with the other various farm homes in the area. Contractors has an active business license with Mesilla. Neighboring property also has a metal roof, and then P&Z, or which this commission has final approval for this request. And as you can see, the supporting documents, PBR roofing spec, the proof of ownership, contract agreement, and the street view of the property is included. And I stand by for any questions.
Commissioners have some questions?
To move to approve PZHAC case 062142.
All right, first motion by Vice Chair Gallegos and second motion by Commissioner Miller. Mulvihill? Got it, okay. Over here. All right, no more discussion. I take a vote, Mr.
I
Chair.
just have a real brief one. It's really minor, but under impact,
Uh-huh.
it's a little confusing when we say, okay, it's RF. My understanding of the code is we have full approval. It doesn't go to
Correct.
PTO. But it says here it goes
Yeah.
to them. So I was wondering
Yeah, this is
why that's in there. And
this is just kind of like a template that anytime that it is require a dual or a final recommendation by the board of trustees, that's just the information that's there. But I'll reword it so it's not confusing to anybody, so make sure that gets. All right.
any other comments? Sounds like we're ready for a vote.
All right, Mr. Vice Chair Gallegos?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Alviar?
Yes.
Commissioner Mulvihill?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Now we're going on to the second and the last proposal is case 062147. If you would go ahead, Mr. Salazar, give us background on that.
Yeah, this is case 062147. It is located at 2138 Calle del Sur. It was submitted by Marta Horta, owner of the property, requesting approval to replace one of the garage doors with 2 windows. The zone is historical residential HR. Dispatch received a call regarding the above property under construction without a permit. Code Officer Ramirez responded to the call and made contact with the property owner, Marta Horta. Mrs. Horta advised she has stopped by Community Development Office and spoken with me, Mr. Salazar, and she did. She did stop and she wanted to make some renovations of the property. And I advise there's no permit is necessary as long as it's interior in the doors. And I'll continue reading and I'll have more further explanation on that. She stated that she was advised no permit was required for any internal changes, upgrades of the structure. She was unaware the permit for the windows will be required. Ms. Horta was directed to stop by and apply for a permit as it is a violation of our town ordinance. The following day, Ms. Horta spoke with Mr. Salazar and was advised indeed it is a violation and needed to be considered by the Pzhac and the Board of Trustees. Ms. Horta applied for the permit and paid her normal permit costs plus an additional fee according to Mesilla Town Code 1550.040, Section D2. An investigation fee in addition to the permit fee shall be collected whether or not a permit is then or subsequently issued. The investigation fee shall be equal to the amount of the permit fee required by this code. The payment of such investigation fee shall not exempt any person from compliance with all other provisions of this code, nor from any penalty described by law. The location of the structure is in the back of the property, not the main residence. It appears to be a garage/storage accessory building. Department head, the department meetings, Pzhac and BOT approval is necessary. Permit fine was included with the fee. Case is still open with the code enforcement department. Supporting documents, application, picture, windows, home, proof of ownership, and street view. I sent an update on this because again, I did talk to Officer Ramirez, which he is here tonight. The applicant also, Ms. Martha Horta, is here tonight for any questions that I'm not able to answer. She's more and willing to do whatever we need to do for this misunderstanding in her words. But I had Officer Ramirez send me his report, and it's attached to the packet. And two of the things that I already spoke with Ms. Horta that concern me seeing this now is that, and that's just the garage door, which I must have misunderstood, or maybe she, failed to tell me. Or I mean, either way, it's just not the garage door. Is also the building itself, right? So there's changes for the building, and that requires obviously a building permit to be submitted. Mr. Maes has already contacted Ms. Horta as well, so they are resolving that matter as far as what is required for that to be happening. I did not bring the building plans per se that needs to get are required by Mr. Maese, but because again I was not aware that so many windows went into this structure this way. So again, they are going to be required. So the consideration tonight is either we consider it with the condition that all the building requirements are met for CID, and myself and Mr. Maese can confirm that, or you can postpone it, or you can deny it, whichever the discussion leads. But again, Ms. Horta is here and she is willing to cooperate or whatever it needs to happen for this misunderstanding, so she can continue finishing remodeling her home. She did advise, obviously, that she did show me some old pictures of the property, and they were in pretty bad. These buildings were in pretty bad shape. The lot itself was in pretty bad shape. So she's made some great improvements, aesthetic wise and stuff like that. But there is also a design standard for the town, right? Our code, so that we also need to consider whenever we discuss it. And I stand by.
Commissioners? Questions, concerns? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I need a motion to address this.
The 147 on Calle de Sur.
All right, first motion to approve by Commissioner Mulvihill, second motion to approve was by Commissioner Mulvihill. Mulvihill and Alvear, sorry. I don't know why I keep getting two lists.
Yes, please.
Correct.
And so there has been nothing done until now that we're gonna say yes or no? Is that
Right. The only thing that I did advise the applicant when she stopped by my office, and I advised her that a permit was required, is to secure the property in case there were some openings with the windows, and you don't want any, because it's been raining. We're in monsoon season. I didn't want for any flooding or any type of whatever, the wood to get wet, interior, and I just allowed to make sure that gets covered up, so that way. But yeah, the construction this stop is not finished. Officer Ramirez?
Yes.
that was the.
Would you like, if you need to, if you're gonna talk, you need to come up.
Thank you. I just didn't want to. Because yes.
My apologies. I was just gonna mention the same thing that he just did. ACL Codes Officer Edgar Ramirez. I was just gonna mention the same thing that Mr. Salazar just said, was that he was making preventative measures for the upcoming rain, since, you know, New Mexico weather is a little unpredictable. I did get a call from Ms. Lucero, and I did advise her the same thing as well, since, yeah. Any question?
I just want to make a couple of comments. First of all, I'm glad that this got taken care of, because I had a lot of phone calls saying that the property didn't have a permit at all. So I was gonna actually bring it up to you with your communication. So, the other thing is, because it's a violation, is there a violation fee that she's being charged? And then, was there anywhere in the plans that said how many windows were going to be put in? Because this just says windows.
No, again, it was done without a permit first. She was not aware that, you know, she needed a permit to put the windows in. She was just trying to, again, continue to beautify the property. But no, there wasn't any formal submission of how many windows. It says whenever I built this case packet here, I understood that it was the windows for replacing a garage door. And that's why, if not, I would have gotten more information, or maybe not even put it on the agenda for tonight, you know, because I found it was already scheduled, it's already here. We would have done, you know, obviously a little bit more homework to present a case more with fully, you know, paperwork. And I'm sure, you know, the building plans and everything else would have been in order before. But again, I didn't realize that until today.
At this point, do we hear what the structures would be used for?
Sure. Yeah, if you wish to ask questions, then yeah, we can do that. I mean, she mentioned that it was going to be for her personal use, but I'd like to invite her over. She can answer some of those questions.
Good afternoon. My name is Marta Horta. I do reside at 2138 Calle del Sur. Feel free to ask questions, I guess.
With my question, you just intend to use that as a supplementary space to you?
Yes.
I think I'm wondering if it's potential to be a Airbnb or like
No, not that. No, it for me it just was dilapidated. I was trying to restore it. Is if I show you the videos of what I found behind there, and I just, as I started peeling back everything, it started getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm sorry, I did not know that I had to. I promise, like, it's not, if I would, otherwise I would have done it properly. And I'm sorry, I apologize for that. And I'll do whatever needs to be done. And yeah, but yes.
I walked in the ditch a lot, and I've been watching.
Oh, you what?
I've been appreciating the improvements that you've done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Try to make it look typical of the area. Yeah. So. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to kind of get a little more clarity what the CID requirements would be, because again, initially when it was just going to replace the barn door, which was the initial picture I saw, one of my comments here was like future use. That was one thing as far as egress, because they just showed a window there, but now I've seen a bigger picture that shows it's all window. And that one barn door, so there, it looks like there might be a door there or something, but obviously you have to have some kind of egress.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Tom Maese with CID. Just to go back a little bit as well, you're asking about whether work had stopped on this project. It has, both by the town of Mesilla and myself as well. I did visit the site on Thursday of last week and stopped work, put a stop work order on it at that time. So we are working on it. We are in contact with the owner. At this time, I have not seen any plans. If it is going to be used for a casita, living quarters, then we will need to look at it in a reference to whether it has proper egress and proper dwelling essentials. If it's going to stay as storage, then there are no regulations as to how many windows, how many doors. You can use the garage door as your actual entrance in the way of storage. So it's all going to depend on how it is submitted with the plans as for its use. And then we can decide which direction we're going to go with it from there.
So if it's going to be categorized as dwelling versus storage, then it would be, you have that egress and all that.
Correct.
You
So.
have the internal design.
Right, and we have to see, because if it has bedrooms and they're individually segregated from the rest of it, then there would have to be some kind of egress window in that. If it's going to be used, and I'm saying it's going to be used, that's maybe a wrong term at this point, because we're not sure what it's going to be, the exact usage. But if it is going to be used something like a little casita, whether it's an efficiency type, one room type of thing, then your front door would actually act as your egress, and you wouldn't have to have any additional windows in those bedroom areas. So again, it goes back to what is the use, what is the way it's planned, and if it is going to be used as a casita or some type of living quarters, even if it's in-house, then we will have to make arrangements to either include a operable window that it does meet the code requirements for egress, or install a door that would meet that egress requirement.
Yeah, that's, so I guess what, for the commissioners and myself, it would seem like, again, our preview for the PMP is just external. And so I think what we're addressing now is, well, I would put it that does the external, all those windows, and some of them are doors or not, it doesn't really matter to me, but I'm going to have to say, I think we're addressing, does it fit in the historic district?
Correct. And because a casita could be considered as an accessory building, until we as CID see the plans, we don't know what the internal use of it's going to be. You can look at it from the outside as to the design, the aesthetics, to see if it does match what is required by the town of Mesilla. But we as a state still have to look at the internal workings and to see what is going to go from there.
So for clarification, it doesn't matter what's going on the inside as far as we're concerned.
That would be my consensus. Now, I'm not the zoning officer, so I can't, that would be up to Mr. Salazar to answer that question. But in reality, yes, as long as the outside is approved and does meet the code requirements that is needed, then it'll come to CID for all the internal uses and internal developments as to what needs to be done. A perfect example, I'm not trying to get off track a little bit. I just stopped another project that the PNZ had approved on Calle San Nabino today. He was given a permit to do some exterior renovations, some upgrades to the house. Upon getting there, we find out that there's more than that going on inside. So, so the project has stopped. He has been informed. He is in the process of getting something together for us so that we can see what's going on inside. So it's kind of a give and take type of thing. And as long as the outside does meet your requirements, then we'll deal with the inner workings on it.
Well, I appreciate that. I guess, again, some of my concerns would be, I mean, I like the fact that it's most of it's kind of protected from the main road. And that's part of our criteria, I think. But I'd have to look at it and say, yeah, that's true. But I haven't seen any buildings in the city that have that many windows and doors or whatever, that much glass. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I guess, I can appreciate that they're already installed. But it seems like we would have a little latitude to make some changes for the outside.
So along with that, commissioners, you can look at it from the standpoint are the windows meeting not just the zoning code, but the building code in reference to how they're placed. I mean, there's an element that has to be met as far as how high they are. If they're not high enough, then they have to be tempered glass. So there's that has to be looked at. I have not seen or entered the building. I don't know how high these windows are placed off the floor level. So that needs to be looked at again. But at the same token, glazing glass can be replaced. Yeah, you can pull the glass out, replace it with leaving the frame there. You can still use the same frames. Again, it goes back to aesthetics and what is actually required by you guys. They're not adding to the footprint of the building, so there's not an issue as far as setback requirements or anything like that, roof changes or anything. So it's as far as the state, it's very minimal as to what they're doing to try and upgrade it and bring it into a standard that is going to be acceptable to the town of Mesilla.
Thank you. Any other comments from the commissioners? Yes, ma'am.
That she can't.
You know, what our code says, and I think what we've judged other cases or other requests is it has to meet the development standard of the zone and the nearby homes, right? So that's what it says. You know, again, each one of us would read and interpret it differently, so that's why we vote on it. So yeah, our code does say that Ms. Liana, our historic specialist, is not here. She'll be back till Wednesday. So, you know, we have a question that we could ask her as far as how many windows, you know, those kinds of things. But unfortunately, again, it's just something that just kind of got dropped on me this morning and something that we could discuss. But no, the code does not say how many windows you can or can't have.
If you approve it tonight and then, it says no, then, where would we go from there?
Say it one more time.
I said, if we approve it tonight and says it doesn't meet the criteria, where do we go from there?
Well, that's the condition. See, I mean, just like CID, I mean, it's the same thing. It's if we can get considered approved, providing it meets the standards for our historic preservation or our approval from our special, or the commission can say, no, I mean, we're making that determination and then this needs to happen. Or what can we do to fix it, right? I mean, can we put some kind of screening, you know, maybe like a wall in front of it, or maybe the windows got to come out, maybe different styles of windows. You know, again, these are all trying to work with the applicant, obviously, and it's what we always do. But eventually, we got to stick with the code, and it's got to meet, you know, the requirements. So.
Yes, sir. Just a comment, Mr. Chair, do we want to make an amendment to the original motion to allow for Ms. Agaria to have her say in the process?
All right, Mr. Chair, if what Mr. Vice Chair Gallegos mentioned is amendment to the original motion, then you did do were you the first vote? No, you were Commissioner Mulvihill was the one that made the original motion. It was seconded by Commissioner Alvear. So if you wish, Mrs. Mulvihill, if you agree, you can amend your motion and to include those conditions.
I'm gonna need some help. Wording, because I do want to accept it with.
I'm sorry?
Could we just vote on the motion as it's originally stated and
No, well, yeah, because no, unless you would have to vote twice. You would have to vote, because now we're getting, you would have to make another motion to amend, and then you vote on that one, to the amendment, and then once it's that done, then you vote on the original motion, which is basically the same.
Waiting on, the other discussion is for what purpose? Because it's not a historic site, correct?
It's
HR, but it's not.
yeah, I looked at it, it's a contributing building only because it happens to be in that zone, but it's not a historic site or landmark or anything.
So that would be the reason that we would maybe wait for further discussion, but other than that, it meets all, I mean, it looks to me like it's a sunroom with all the windows that I see in other homes, where you know, kind of put that there to restore it, but anyway, and it's not being used for B&B, and even whatever those considerations go to, Mr. Myers, so I just need clarification that to wait would be what reason?
To wait on,
For the input from this.
yeah, again, you can postpone again for the next meeting, but again, you know,
But what is the clarification that she's able to get?
so if we want to consider tonight, we need to amend the motion to state, we consider it approved, providing it meets requirements from New Mexico CID and the approval our historic specialist after being reviewed by her. And if so, then we'll go ahead and move it over onto the BOT, because the BOT still has to look at it. And then we'll go from there. If not, then we will have to wait for another additional 2 weeks to get it reviewed and all the plans submitted and such. So depends on what direction the commission wants to go to.
They just voted in.
I just want to make an amendment.
Yeah.
The amendment or the approval of PCA, AJC, case 062147 is to approve the construction with conditions to meet the standards by the internal specialist and CID.
Thank you. Do I get a second? All right, first motion, amendment of the motion to consider the request, providing it meets New Mexico CID, all building code requirements, and after being reviewed and approved by our historic specialist, Ms. Liana Aguirre. If there's no other further discussion, I'll go ahead and I'll take a vote, Mr. Chair. Vice Chair Gallegos?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
No.
Commissioner Alviar?
So if I say no, it's because I want the original, or it's just yes.
Yeah, if you say no, it's because of the amendment, then we'll go back. I mean, it's up to the chair. We'll go back and you can figure out either postpone it, you know, I mean, whatever other conditions you'll want to meet. Or set. Commissioner Moville. Mr. Chair, the vote is 2-2, and we need your vote on this for a tiebreaker.
I would say I would like to go with the condition of having our historic preservation officer
Okay.
review and make a decision. So I would say that would be a yes, correct? Okay.
All right, so motion passes 3-2 with the condition that it is approved, providing it meets all the building code requirements set by New Mexico Construction Industry Divisions, and it gets reviewed by our historic specialist, Ms. Liana Aguirre. All right, 3-2.
And once she reviews that, then we come back to.
Because it's already been approved. Now, but again, she'll review it on Wednesday because it's still got to go to the board of trustees. So when it goes to the board of trustees, if she does not approve of it, then, you know, obviously I'll bring that up to the board of trustees after being reviewed, you know, and such. Or, you know, we're probably going to have to get the plans submitted or some type of drawn up before next Monday. So that way they can finish reviewing it. And if they can, just let me know. That way I won't put it on the agenda of availability, but then you're going to have to wait another probably 3 weeks.
No, I have to.
Draw something.
That's what I'm saying. So get with her and just let me know.
But I can work fast.
Yeah, I said, we're trying to expedite so we don't have to wait,
I don't
but
have-
we can't get them in before the next board trustees. I won't even put in an agenda because I know they won't get it approved. And that's that one. Next.
Now, we're going to the discussion.
Correct. All right, so I have a discussion item. This is discussion item number 7. I'm sorry? Okay.
I want to see a building early on and this candy, but I don't want it to proceed as it looks. I don't like the looks of it at all. So is my no vote correct? That's what I'm thinking.
That's why I asked.
It was approved. I mean, if you want to, it can be recalled by one of the persons that voted no on it. I would say. But I'll make note of that. Okay, so this is item number 7, a discussion. And we talked briefly on this, and this is regarding the R1 zone, which is called Mesilla Park. Mesilla Farms. I get that one and the other one mixed up. All right, so it's Mesilla Farms. This is south of University, and in where between, I think it's McDowell all the way to Bowman. We discussed it that there are some homes wanting to do some modifications, some development, additions, those kinds of things, and under our current code, it was zoned on to be non-conforming lots due to being under 1 acre, right? I do remember the discussion we had that because 2 of those there's 4 subdivisions there. 2 of those were approved by Mesilla back in the 70s, and 2 of them were annexed from Las Cruces. That's why some get water, some don't get water. And one of the reasons it was approved by Mesilla back in the 70s, according to the minutes that I gathered, was that there was a need for housing, just probably like are we doing now, right? So they were approved, and in my interpretation, I didn't find this in the minutes, but if Mesilla approves the lot size and development size, I would think that would be a legal conforming lot, correct? So when I brought it up with the board of trustees, we didn't have a full discussion on it, just something, wanted their direction. Again, I'm trying to get their direction so we don't do all the homework, and then they would be unpleased because we're going the wrong way, right? But it was half and half. It was half felt that yes, there are legal conforming lots. The other ones said no. So, and again, it wasn't a full work session or anything. Maybe like a 5 or 6 minute discussion at the end of the meeting. Just trying to get my feelers out. So we have this case or this request by one of our residents, owner of our property, which is account number, Doña Ana County, account number R04000058, that it's similar to that, but it's not in the R1. This one happens to be in the RF zone. If you look at the second page, you can see that the parcel under Doña Ana County account number is one. Is one account, I call it one account. And again, if you get into the Doña Ana County parcel map, where we gathered most of our information that I've been getting, as far as I know, Messia's been using it because they keep our records for our property. It tells you at the login, this is not meant for legal use and blah, blah, blah. This is just for tax purposes, right? So discussing this with her surveyor, Moy Surveying, the Moy Surveying stopped by my office and we talked extensively on this. And I also talked to an assessor at the county. She sent me an email, Mrs. Denise, I forget her last name. But anywho, they both agree that these are 2 separate lots, 2 separate properties, right? 2 warranty deeds need to be written up for these. Right now, currently there's only 1. And why is it 2, right? Is because if you notice right through the middle, almost through the middle of that is our Del Rio drain, or one of the drains EBID installed in the 1930s, right? So, and since the 1930s, this property under the county has been being assessed under one parcel number, one account. But in reality, when it comes to property laws and property ownership and deeds, this is actually two properties. So that was my trying to explain to the board of trustees. But really, honestly, they're just elected officials. We are the experts, right? You guys all are the experts, and with my help, I'll give you the information. But I think within reason, I think that we can agree that these are two parcels. These are two properties, right? So what they want to do is they want to ask Doña County to treat these as two parcels because the triangle one they want to sell, right? Right. And our code does mention that you cannot create a non-conforming lot when you subdivide, right? This is like 11.9 something, right? And this triangle is not 5 acres, so it will make it a non-conforming lot. I told you can't do that, right? Unless the property that's adjacent to it is owned by, I believe, is owned by the Clayshot's family, Clayshot's farm or something. They want to buy it, so if they and absorb it onto their property, which would not make it a non-conforming. So if they want to go through the process of purchasing and absorbing it, that all has to be done under one case. So we can't say, okay, we'll approve it with the condition that you gotta, sell it over here. No, I told them, if you want, hopefully, we can all agree that if we want to sell that property over to the Clayshots and absorb it onto their property, it won't create a non-conforming lot that way, right? Because of
Quick question. So their property is 1212, just south of.
you're looking at the second page or which?
I'm looking at this page. It seems like it's their property here.
Mm-hmm.
It's number 1212.
No, their properties. It's the vacant one that looks the cleanest one there to the left of the triangle,
Oh, okay.
which is on the other side. And the reason why they want to sell is because since that drain has been through there, there's no way for them to irrigate their property because there's no well on that side, right? The well happens to be exactly. So and again, yeah, obviously, in order to get access for whatever reason, they can't sell it. They can't do anything much with it because the drain, which creates a hardship and which does create a probability to be approved through a variance process, right? But exactly, but since it happened in the 1930s, that should already been. It shouldn't be necessary to go through a variance process and the hearings and such because it was already intact in that piece before our code, Messiah was codified with our code. So anyway, this is just one case, but everywhere that drain goes through, it creates a lot of other parcels. So I want to be able to make use of a lot of these parcels that are not being able to do anything with. I'm sorry? This is on Stice, Calle del Paso, going towards that way.
You know where that silo used to be?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's that little dirt road, you go over the ditch, go down a little bit ways. It's right there.
That silo's still there though, right?
Yeah, the sidewalk.
I hope so. I won't say.
You know
Yeah.
what? So
It's still the sidewalk.
So, just a quick question or discussion. Last time that we were discussing this, I brought up the fact that we would have to do this remember that we did it for one of the properties where they wanted to split it so that they could. So what we're essentially doing is taking case by case and saying this is okay for this case because of these reasons, but we're not necessarily going to write for one solution for everybody.
Exactly. So somebody else can say, well, you approve them, that's why it's necessary. It's a unique request. Correct. It's just that the requirement you got to go through a variance because you're creating a non-conforming law. And I don't think it's fair that they have to go through that when in 1933 is when the property and the county was, they're only looking at it as tax purposes. So they don't care if it's one parcel or two, it's just that the town of Messiah needs to recognize that there are two properties.
And we have to recognize that has happened before and will continue to happen because if we're gonna go based on
property owner, they're gonna put everything under one account.
Exactly.
Then
That as well.
we're relying on them for this purpose, but it's not necessarily what we need to.
Trust. Any questions on this? Now, again, all of it's case by case, right? And the reason why I put that in there is as an example. The assessors, again, the assessor from the county, I forget her name. I believe is Desiree. Maybe she might be in here. I thought I mentioned there are other cases I asked her, is there any other similar cases in the county that you all had to go through similar to this one? And so, yeah, I says, we do that not all the time. We do it often where something like a drain or a road or a railroad track or something has split through property that they have to go through the process of creating 2Ds and creating but we can't do that because it's outside of our jurisdiction. That needs to come direction from Missy for that to happen. When I mentioned the R1 Messiah Park, that is similar to this, but also, Mayor and I has been talking about, we during our comprehensive plan, we discussed about rezoning some of these properties, and that's all those subdivisions there now are potentially eligible for a nomination for historic zoning, right? R1 with historic zoning would be helpful. And the requirements doesn't have to be strict, like same as over here. It would be totally different if that's what the commission feels like. And that would allow some of these properties to develop. Some of these properties also have another request that has over an acre there. And for different reasons, she wants to subdivide it into similar properties that's all throughout that neighborhood. And she feels like, well, I don't think it's fair. I want to subdivide it even bigger than the ones that are next to me throughout this neighborhood, but I can't. I was told I can't. Right. So again, all those things are a case by case ones we need to consider. So I'm bringing this up for discussion to feel kind of see what you guys think and what direction we should go. No, you've already mentioned. I think you explained it pretty well. I mean, anybody else wants to make a comment, then I'm on. That what do you call it? That what do you call it? Uncomfortable silence. I guess I don't know about expectations, but just staring at each other. But yeah, Chair, if you wish to continue the discussion, or we can just I'm standing by. I think I have my answers for that. Mm-hmm.
I would go on to item number 8.
All right.
Commissioner and staff.
The only thing that I have, I will get with Liana Wednesday, but I did mention almost a month ago that there is going to be another online, I believe it's going to be a Zoom, training. Again, it's also about historic preservation and economic growth. It's on the 16th. The time. July, correct. 10 days from now. But I'll get further information, and then I believe it's going to be at 1:30, 2:30, somewhere around there. No, it'll be here. It'll be here at this same, like last time. But again, I'll send you an email, so kind of watch out for that, we'll be sending. Again, it's historic preservation and economic growth on both of them. Yeah, similar to that. Also, you notice today we do have our code enforcement officer here as of July 1st, the new fiscal year. He is formerly under the community development department. He should have introduced him. Well, I should have introduced him first, but he did spend some time with the marshals from the internship that we have, and then he did apply, and obviously he was going to be the best of, a number of applicants. So sharp kid. Obviously, needs some help with experience, but he's handling it very well right now. So I'm happy that he's here, and also in the same departments, because as in the past, it's hard to get enforcement when they work in another department. We needed, and he's all over. So anywho, meeting, but I invited him today, so to make sure an idea of what I'm going through.
I guess along those lines, I know you put in our packet
headed his,
Case.
case.
Mhm.
Is that gonna continue? I really like that.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. It depends. It depends. I feel if it's necessary, then yeah, I think, again, the commission unfortunately is responsible for land use, not code enforcement, right? But I mean, if necessary, obviously, if there's a case and stuff like that, so I'll be more than happy to share that.
But in this case, like you mentioned, it applies. to cases.
Yes. And again, one of the other things is if there are any other code violations and stuff, concerns, stuff like that, obviously bring them up. And hopefully we can start, one of the things I had a discussion with, hopefully we can start addressing some of these and end some of these rumors that, they do let them do whatever they want, kind of a thing, those kinds of things. So we'll address it. We'll bring it up at the commission if it's necessary, or the board of trustees, and get the job done. So thank you.
I think we're ready for adjournment.
Do you have anything?
I kept forgetting to bring it up. There's a house on, Highway North that for a while was painted like what I would call a burnt color green. Did that go through a process? Because now it's all white.
Yes, that was a house that I was told was burnt. It was at one time, half of it was burnt. They came in for a permit to paint it. I just want to paint it. It's just eyesore to the public, and I don't want to do that. And she says, good. He was going to do it himself. It was like $6,000. He said, yeah, I can approve you through the administrative process to that, but it needs to be the color. And then the next day or afterwards, I'm like, what in the world did you do? I'm like, so I contacted him back. Man, you are way off on it. This is not. So I did contact him and says, no, you need to fix it like ASAP. So he went back and then he repainted it again. Well, thank you for asking that. And that's what I want people to do. I don't want people to make assumptions like, oh man, they're just doing all kinds of, they get to do whatever they want. I've always said, you got any questions, call me, anything like that, or if I don't know, we'll address it, So, again, I'm just trying to end some of the rumors that, we're just approving people left and right, and that's not necessarily true.
Very good. Any other comments from the commissioners?
I just wanted to welcome Edgar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, go USA.
All right.
Right now.
Right to adjourn. Thank you.
It's right along the corner of the edge.
Yeah.